Welcome to Just the Tip-Sters, America's favorite true crime podcast. I'm your host, Melissa Morgan. I'm here, I'm weird, get used to it. This is just an update, my beloveds, because a real full episode will be coming in the next day or two. But for now, just a small explanation, and I should have explained earlier, but honestly, my life is a dumpster fire. Can we say that? I can say that. So dumpster fire, and including but not limited to, recorded an episode 2 weeks ago with my friend Joshua, who will be here this week, and his audio was recorded too low, and it couldn't even be fixed by my beloved Matt, who can fix anything. And we had to scrap that and we'll redo it. And then the interview I had set up with the deputy chief of the Waupun Police Department, he got COVID and he made a very funny joke. I adore this man already. He said, "I sound like you," or how you sounded. So we spoke a few weeks ago when I had COVID and I said, "I apologize. I sound like I am perhaps a man who dresses as a woman." I can't say anything I want to say because I'll offend someone. But anyway, and so he sent me a lovely email and said, "Now I have COVID and I sound like you." And I was like, "You are blessed if you sound like me, motherfucker." But I didn't say that. He is a spectacular human. I am very excited to talk to him about this case, and it's an interesting one with a lot of layers, and I'm very happy to talk to him about it. So, neighbor came over, who is a bigwig for one of the big three networks. He fucked around and found out. He found out I'm an alien. So when he first got here, he was filling in for my neighbor Rob, who typically helps me with audio issues, and Rob was out of town. And he said, "You know who would be great for this is Marty." And I was like, "Oh yeah, Marty's a bigwig at the network and in New York." He came over and I said, "So look, I just want to tell you, I am probably an alien. I have really weird electromagnetic stuff. I blow out a lot of digital shit. And he's like, okay, kind of rolling his eyes, as everyone does when I tell them this, until he sits down and he's like, why is it doing that?" And I'm like, I don't know what to say. I don't know. I don't know. And he's like, "But I've never seen a computer do that." And I'm like, I know. I know. I'm sorry. Can you just help me figure out how to help it make it sound like Joshua isn't recording from a closet in Bayonne, New Jersey? So what was going to be a 10-minute exercise in him recording with me so I could get the levels and figure out what I was doing wrong to record with a partner turned into an hour and a half of Marty. He did not pull his hair out, but there was a time I thought that might happen. So your girl is a weirdo, and I'm sorry, but please know I'm here and I'm trying, and I'm trying. So the other layer to this is that the job in the healthcare field for the government was going to kill me. And I am that person from the Midwest who means what they say and say what they mean. And if I say I'm going to do something, I do it. And I tried for 7 weeks, and it was really difficult, is a very good way to put it. And I hate to admit failure. I don't want to even say that word because so much of my life right now feels completely upended. And I would not have left the job if I thought there was ever going to be a way that I could see my way clear for it to not crush my soul. So a few wise people in my life who are much smarter than me, my best friend Angela, my longest friend in the world, Melissa, and my therapist, Karen, were all pretty much on board for me to not do this. And I love them both, all three, sorry. But I was not going to not do it. It was an extraordinarily difficult onboarding process, 6 weeks of them crawling up my butthole with a microscope and driving a long way to do fingerprinting and drug testing. And it was a lot. It was a lot. And so I got on board and immediately knew it was a horrible mistake and kept trying to readjust my attitude to make it work. And my beloved quorum of brilliant women, Melissa was like, look, if you get there and you don't like it, quit. And I was like, I can't do that. And the session I had with my wonderful grief counselor, Karen, the week before I started, she goes, just before we hung up, she goes, okay, well, congratulations and condolences. Bye. See you next week. And I must have laughed for, I don't know, 60 seconds. And then my best friend, Angela, last week said to me, she had just said, don't do it the entire time. The entire process of being hired, she was just like, please don't do this. This is not where you belong. Please don't do this. And I was like, Angela, I need a job. My husband died. I need to bring money in, not go through all the money. And that's going to happen quickly. So I need a job and I can do this. And the week before this week, she said, I'm going to put my boss bitch pants on. And she is literally the least bossy human on earth. She is the supreme diplomat. She's diplomatic in every encounter, be it business-wise or with her friends or loved ones or family. She said, I'm putting on my bossy bitch pants and I'm going to say this, for the love of all that is holy, quit that fucking job. And I was like, I'm going to keep trying. I'm going to keep trying. And she's like, I don't want to see weeks turn into months, turn into years. And I was like, I am taking everything you're saying under advisement. So this week was pretty difficult. By Tuesday evening, I was like, well, I believe I have given it my all and more, and I'm done now. So I called the staffing company that placed me there on the way home on Tuesday night, and they were of absolutely no help or support. Just couldn't have cared less. So I went in on Wednesday morning and said, I am so sorry. I'm going to give you at least 2 weeks notice. If you need more, let me know. I can stay as long as you want. I'm not going to another job. I just don't think I'm a good fit. And I think you feel that too. And that was just to my coworker, who I didn't want to leave her in a lurch. And unbeknownst to me, the supervisor had come in and said, hey, I have an idea. I want you to learn other clinics. And I'm like, well, I don't, but so she takes me out of the dental clinic and takes me to the eye clinic and then takes me to the physical therapy clinic. And I'm like, but I'm, you don't know, but I told I'm giving my 2 weeks notice. And it was almost like she couldn't hear me. She was like, yeah, okay. So yeah, that's no. Here, I want you to learn this. The eye clinic is much calmer, different clientele kind of thing. And I'm like, no, it's the same. And the clientele isn't the problem. It's the coworkers. It takes a special person to work for the government. And I don't think I belong working for the government, and the government doesn't need me working for them. So I finally, it took me all day to get the point across. And by 3:00, I said, hey, you know what? No longer 2-week notice. This is my last day. Because they just kept trying to teach me new things. I literally felt like Michael Corleone. I was like, you're not dragging me back in. This is not The Godfather. I'm done here. I'm outie 5,000. That's what not the kids say. So 3:30, two supervisors came into the room where I was working and shut the door and said, we know it's difficult. And I said, yeah. And while I have this opportunity and I have your ear, what I'm going to say is that nobody wants to hear what the new person says. But the first week I was here, the job really screamed out to me that it needs to be done by 3 different people. People have different skill sets. My coworker is really great with computer stuff, and she is good with people, but she doesn't want to work with people anymore. I loved working with people. I loved helping people schedule their appointments and try and figure out problems. And I'm terrible at the triplicate computer programs you have to use to check a person in. There's three programs to check a person in. And honestly, there's a fourth, but that one is actually sort of expediting things, and that will be discontinued to be used in September. So there's three programs to schedule someone or check them into their appointment. One of them is DOS based. DOS, ladies and gentlemen, DOS. So I took the opportunity to say, I feel like the job could be split into, three different people, or at least two, because nobody has all of those skills, and it's a lot. And my poor coworker was working by herself for a very long time with no help. Apparently it's just, she had four people in a 9-month period, and I guess they didn't work out, and I understand why. So they said that they were on schedule to have one, streamlined system by 2026. And I said, well, all I can tell you for sure is I won't be here. But I'm on the hunt again, and I am grateful for the time I had there. It got me in a schedule. It was not easy. The commute, the gas money, the buying new clothes. So I looked, business professional, figuring out what I would take for lunch every day. We only got a half an hour, and you can't go anywhere in a half an hour. So it got me on a schedule, and I'm a fairly regimented person. So I hope it won't be difficult to find something else and start bringing in money again, because it was just not. And I tried. So anyway, that's my tale of woe. We're going to have some really great episodes coming up. Angelique and I still have a local Los Angeles case that we were waiting to hear back from a detective, and I don't think he wants to participate, a retired detective who I think has probably had an ass full of this case, and I get it. We had a nice conversation, and basically what he told me was what we had covered, so it's not like we needed clarification or correction. So I think we're just, I'm waiting for Angelique to edit that, and then we will be recording new episodes this weekend. And when the deputy chief of the Waupun, Wisconsin Police Department is COVID free, we'll have that coming up. So please know I love you, Tipsters, more than I can say. And I was so grateful to hear from you. And I feel terrible that I didn't let you know sooner what the hell was going on. I just kept thinking something would work out and it would all get rectified. But I just kept slogging through the mire, trying to figure out everything. But thank you for being here with me, and I promise we'll be back. We didn't go anywhere. We're still here. It just sounds like we're not. And more cowbell.